Hi friends, welcome back to my channel, and this is Veeam 13 full course, and this is part 15th video in this course. So in this session we are going to explore one of the most powerful recovery feature available in Veeam Backup and Replication, which is instant VM recovery. So in instant VM recovery, basically virtual machines runs directly from the backup storage, and the process is very simple. Select your backup, choose your instance VM recovery, and then select the ESXi host, and then VM boot instantly. So there will be no restore time. Basically, business continuity is going to be benefited from this, and reduce downtime, test recovery easily, and run directly from ESXi host. So this is what we are going to perform in this session. So this feature allow you to start the virtual machine directly from the backup file without waiting all the for the basically full migration or full restore. This ensures the real scenario. Basically your VM can be up and running just in few minutes. So in this session we are going to cover everything in detail. What is instance VM recovery is, how it's work internally, setup. Basically we are going to test this in our step-by-step lab demo, and then we will discuss real world example and benefit and best practices around instant VM recovery. So let's get started with the very first and basic question. Instant What is instant VM recovery? So instant VM recovery is a feature basically in Veeam which allow you to start your VM directly from the backup file stored in the repository. Use Veeam vPower NFS service to mount the backup in the ESXi host, and run VM instantly from your hypervisor like VMware or Hyper-V. So this can be done at any hypervisor, and instead of restoring full VM first, the process works like backup file is going to be mounted. It present that as a data store in your infrastructure, VMware infrastructure, and then VM is going to be registered on the host, and after that VM is going to be powered on. So all this happens within a minute, which basically reduce the downtime of your infrastructure. And how it's work in the background, so that is also very important thing to understand. So let's understand this also. So backup files such as VBK and VIB are stored in the backup repository. So Veeam mounts that backup using vPower NFS hypervisor access that mounted data store, and VM runs directly from the backup storage. Later VM can be migrated or back to be production storage. So effectively backup storage temporarily acts as a production storage for your virtual machine. So what happened after VM start? At this stage, VM is running from backup storage. Performance may be slightly slower because that is going to be run from your backup repository, and maybe it is not as the same performance you have on production storage. And this is temporary basis. And real life example you can understand. Let's say. Uh, let's say you are running a critical database server, and suddenly storage fails or VM become unavailable. So without instant VM recovery, you will wait for hours for the full recovery, and business downtime increases. With the instance recovery, VM can be started within 2 to 5 minutes, and users get connected quickly, and business impact are minimized. This is how the feature is extremely important in the real world environment. So benefit and best practices. So on the benefit side, basically you can understand minimal downtime, VM available within few minutes, business continuity, operation continues smoothly once the VM is mounted from the live mount, and flexibility, VM run from the any host, does not matter which host you want to mount and run. Testing capabilities, so validate backups easily before you do a basically live restore, or you can say full restore. So no full restore required initially, saves time for the resources. And best practices, use fast disk storage like SSD or NAS, regular test instance VM recovery, maintain network isolation during the tested, testing, and always verify restore points before the recovery. So these are the some basically important best practices and benefits. So this is my lab environment which I'm going to use in this demo. So this is the same lab environment which we are using throughout this course. So I got my Active Directory and DNS server, and then Veeam 13 backup and replication server. I got my standalone Hyper-V host and 3 node vSAN cluster, and I got one my vCenter server appliance. So everything running inside my VMware workstation. So let me show you. So this is my infrastructure. So this is my Veeam server. So let me log into my Veeam server first. So this is my Veeam server, and let me show you. This is my vCenter server, and all three ESXi hosts are connected to vCenter server. And in last video we did one restore for VM02 virtual machine, which got restored. And now in this video I'm going to restore one of the virtual machine, which is VM01, and I'm going to do a run from live mount. So this is the virtual machine which we have at the recent backup is 2 hours back. So I'll go on my backups basically and disk, then I'll see my backup here. So I got a few restore points for this virtual machine. So VM01 having 7 restore points. So I'll go here and click on instant recovery. So this is the feature from where we can do instant recovery. So let me show you step by step also. So open Veeam console, launch Veeam console and replication, go to home, navigate to backups, and then select your disk, expand your backup jobs, and choose your VM you want to do instant recovery, and then right click on VM and click on instant recovery. So this is what we wanted to do. So next thing, select a restore point. So I'll go ahead and select always choose an clean restore point before the issue occurred. So I'll go ahead and select my, let's say here I'll go and select my Veeam server, and then less than a day I'll go ahead and select the latest recovery point, and then click next, and then restore to original host or different locations. I'll go with the original host, and then click next. And then here you can see the original match is this is the virtual machine name, new virtual machine is going to be exactly same, and the target host is going to be a 53, and this is going to be our resource pool. So now it does not show you the data store. So let me go here and restore to new location, and let me, this is the virtual machine name, host name, and VM resources. That's fine. I'll go here and select the basically redirect. So you can redirect the write cache also. So I'll go ahead and select my write cache should go to my data store. So this is my data store. So I'll select this data store for my write cache. So that's fine. I'll go ahead and connect on network on power on. So this is very important if you want to make sure there was no basically no IP conflict and all. So you can avoid the IP conflict in original VM if the original VM is still running. Ensure the correct VLAN is mapped and all those things. And now I'll go ahead and basically power on target machine. After restore, I'll click on finish. So now this is going, Veeam is basically going to mount this virtual machine 13 on my 53 host, and then from there I'll able to get virtual machine up and running. So let's wait for some time. So you can see starting recovery and then connecting to host 53. So let's wait for some time. So you can see here restoring from backup repo 01, which is my primary repository for backups, and then checking if vPower NFS data store is mounted on host. So this is going to basically mount one of the temporary data store on my this ESXi host 3. So let's wait for some time. So once the data store is mounted, it will basically go ahead and power on the virtual machine. So now you can see this is good. Locking backup file, publishing backup file, and preparing changes. Now it's updating the VM configuration. Check the free disk on. So everything looks good. Now it's basically registering the virtual machine. So now you can see here Veeam backup Win2K 25 Veeam. This is the NFS 3 which is mounted basically from my Veeam server directly. And now everything looks good. Cannot use encryption, that's fine. No tag, and create virtual machine snapshot. And now you can see virtual machine is powered on, and recovery is successful, and waiting for user to start migration. So I'll go ahead and close this one. And now let me show you, this virtual machine is basically booting. And if I go here and show you the data store, this got mapped from my this data store, and writes cache is going to ESXi 03-local. So this is how virtual machine got live mounted and powered on. So allow this virtual machine few seconds to get the uh, booting complete, and then we will get the login screen. So if I go to running, you will see here instant VM recovery, and this is state is working. So now this is the final task where we need to basically machine is powered on, and now are ready for launch. And now recovery starts. So within a few minutes, VM is live. Mount backup from vpower NFS register virtual machine, and VM is powered on. So now you can see at this stage VM is running from backup storage, which I have shown you. Performance is slightly slower, and this is a temporary. And now this is the final step which we need to perform, is storage migration. This is very important to make it permanent. You need to move the virtual machine. So you got two options: storage vMotion from VMware, move the VM to production data store, and the second option is quick migration via Veeam, so migrate VM storage to production. So I'll go ahead and do this. So let's wait for virtual machine to get the login screen. So I got the login screen. So once the VM is instantly mounted, you can go ahead and log in and validate. If you feel everything is working fine, then what you can do, you can basically migrate this virtual machine to production. So now we have validated, we are able to log in, everything looks good. So now I will go to my Veeam, and here right click on this task. So you can see here there is nothing coming, you can only see the statics. So everything looks good. Yes, I'll go and close this, and now on top you will see here instant recovery option. So now you can see details, virtual machine, type, host, and status is mounted. So I'll go and right click here, and now you will see here stop publishing. So if you want, you can do stop publishing for virtual machine, so it will destroy the virtual machine and unmount this NFS3 data store from the host. And now we need to basically migrate to production. So I'll click on migrate to production, and now it will show you the host and cluster. So I'll choose my host. So let me select my host 3, and then resource pool, and this is the storage where I want to basically put my data. This is my data store where I want to put the virtual disk and all the configurations. So click next, and now I'll go ahead and leave this default. And now it's checking the possibility for migration. If everything goes well, it will allow you to do the migration basically. So let's wait for a few seconds here. So this is most important thing. If you want to basically really bring this virtual machine, which is instant mounted from your Veeam, to move it to production, so you should make sure this is done, and this should be done as soon as possible your testing is completed. So this is very important. Until you don't migrate the virtual machine to production storage, you will have a degraded performance from the virtual machine which is live mounted. So now you can see everything looks good. So this is virtual machine, mode is a smart switch, and then this is our host. Everything looks good. So delete source VM upon a successful quick migration does not apply to vMotion. So I'll click on finish, and now you can see the job is started, and it will do a quick migration for virtual machine. So basically it's going to migrate our virtual machine, which is sitting on this data store, NFS3 data store, to our production storage, which is ESXi-03 local storage. So you can see starting migration. So now you can see everything is looking good, and now it's preparing target virtual machine for the migration. And everything is going to be happen in live state. So you can see here This is our virtual machine which is getting migrated through quick migration. And now you can see here the creating virtual machine snapshot and copying the VM files has started, and this is the hard disk which is getting transferred basically by using the quick migration job. So I'll go ahead and pause the recording here once the machine is migrated, and we'll finish about 100%. I'll resume from there. So now you can see the data is copied and suspending virtual machine is started and creating snapshot file for the new virtual machine. So now you can see here this is the machine which is got suspended now. So this is our production machine. So if I go here on the data store, you should be able to see here this is mapped to our local data store where we wanted to mount. And now once the snapshot is created, we will proceed with the final step. So now you can see for this 50 gig virtual machine in my environment, in testing environment, it took approx 8 minutes to 10 minutes, between 8 to 10 minutes to basically do the storage migration from backup repository to production data store. So snapshot copy is done, rename source VM, rename target VM, and remove snapshot is also done. And now it's basically doing the VM copy state, which is from this virtual machine to the newly created virtual machine. So you can see the virtual machine is also renamed, and now at the backend the data transfer is running. So let's wait for this also. So it's going to take some time. So this basically depends on how much data you have in your snapshot. So this is the machine which is powered off now, and let's wait for some more time here. Now you can see copy VM state is completed, powering on VM is also done. Now it's waiting for heartbeat to make sure this virtual machine is live on the basically on the infrastructure. So let's wait for this machine. So now you can see this is copied, and this one is basically migrated virtual machine. So it does the rename at the backend, and now it's wait for this live migration to get the basically heartbeat from this virtual machine. And once the heartbeat is received, it will move ahead with the next step. So overall everything, all the steps are basically automated throughout this live migration, and from instant recovery to migrating the virtual machine live from backup repository to production storage. So now you can see everything is done, and now the task is completed successfully. So I'll go ahead and click OK here. So now you can see the virtual machine is getting dismounting. So now this migrated virtual machine is going to be dismounted from the infrastructure. So let's wait for a few seconds here. So now if I go and show you from here quick migration job, so you should be able to see everything is completed successfully. And now if I go and show you the instant VM recovery job, so go to logs, and you should be able to see delete changes storage folder, deleting mounted folder, and finally it's unmounted the virtual machine successfully. So everything looks good now. Now if I go here, I should be able to see only one virtual machine which we have basically migrated to production data store. So you should be able to see this is only have now I attached to this local data store and does not have any dependency on the Veeam itself. So this is what I wanted to show you in this video. So that's all for today's session on instant VM recovery in Veeam 13. So this is one of the most critical feature you can use to minimize basically downtime and ensure business continuity during the failure. So make sure you practice this in your lab so you can get fully prepared for the real world scenario. So thank you for watching. Please subscribe me for more videos, and if you have any query, any question related to this, you can always post me my given mail IDs. Thank you once again. Bye bye.